as far as I've got.
Go ahead.
Like with the whole dispo process, in specific with these two properties, like I have the guy, he's had a lot of people back out on him. Obviously, that's the last thing I want to do. What do you think I should, especially since if I'm dispoing it to you and it's kind of out of my hands, what should I really tell this guy when he asks me? Because it's like every day and a half, it's like, are you out? He's like, okay, so you are backing out and all this. I'm like, no, sir. I'm like, I'm just kind of waiting to hear a little bit more from my buyer. I was like, I'm not, too certain. I was like, I'll give you an update when he gives me an update. But
okay, so what you need to have him understand is that it's going to take about a week and a half to 2 weeks for your buyers to do their due diligence, run their numbers, and make sure that this deal is right for them. And as soon as you have which one of them are interested or multiple, then you will set up walkthroughs, which is exactly what we're doing.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I think because he's a general contractor, so he bought these properties, and the whole purpose of when he bought these properties was to fix them up. But obviously, going through dissolution, he can't. His wife wants him to sell off everything, so that's why he said, "Hey, I have to sell these off." But I was just confused on what to say on that front, and also what do I do in terms like of with you now giving them to you and you dispoing them? What do I do from this point? Do I not do anything, or is it?
There's nothing for you to. I mean, you can try and dispo them out also if you want, but
Gotcha. I really
nothing really for you to do.
That's honestly that's the best answer. That's the best answer for me, honestly. That's what I was kind of hoping for. I just didn't know if it was like something I should attempt to do or anything. The other question I have is, even because he's so worried about the actual quality of the titles, because like I said, it popped up as a special warranty. I assume that they were quit claim deeds before, but it says special warranty. I understand that's what title search is for, but is there any instance where the quality of the title is so bad where these properties would not be a deal? Because I don't think there's no involuntary liens from what I saw, nothing like that. When I asked him, he said no. He bought them out in cash. Like, is there any likelihood of where something was to the title would be so bad where these couldn't get disposed?
I mean, that's entirely possible, but there's no way to know that until title does their thing.
Okay, gotcha.
Like there's literally, I mean, the guy, maybe he knows, maybe he doesn't know if he's got any liens on the property or not. Just because he says no doesn't mean that there aren't any.
Right.
But if there were any liens, he would probably have some idea about that. So usually, if they say that there aren't any liens, you can go by that.
Yeah, and that's what I was imagining when he said he bought them in cash anyway. I was just more so wondering because he kept asking that, and I'm like, at this point, like giving them the same answer repeatedly, and he's just obviously he wanted to get them sold as quick as possible. When I had initially talked to him, I was like, yeah, so how quickly would you be interested in getting these sold? He was like, tonight. And I was like, oh, okay. So then I got it under contract. He has a very untimely response rate. So I had to, I guess, kind of work with him a little bit. And then I got him to sign on the 5th. And that's why I also sent the contract to you as well, because I wanted to make sure, would that affect at all? Because with the inspection period on my contract being 2 weeks and getting it signed on the 5th, at this point, that would make it 9 days. Like, would it be an issue if you were to get it disposed out and it had, like, let's say you did that in 3 days and they had 6 days left?
Well, no, because you keep saying 2 weeks, but the contract says 14 business days. That's not 2 weeks. That's closer to 3. So if you got this thing signed on the 5th, let me pull out my calendar really quick. So you got it signed on the 5th, which was a Wednesday, right?
Right.
So Thursday counts, Friday counts, Saturday and Sunday doesn't count. Today counts. You're on your 3rd day of the inspection period. as far as the paperwork is concerned. So 14 business days. Let's see, 5th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 8. Your inspection period ends on the 25th of March.
Oh, damn. Okay. Yeah, sometime.
There's a reason why we say 14 business days and not calendar days, which your contract says. So you're not 9 days in, you're 3 days in.
3 days in. Okay.
Does that make more sense?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes total sense. That's what I was thinking before. I started questioning now if it would be, I knew it was business days, but I didn't know if I thought it was, since it was signed on the 5th, I thought it'd be in the 10th, I would be 5 business days, and I wasn't even thinking about the weekend. I just didn't know. Obviously, you said you specialize in getting them dispoed out anyway. I was just more so concerned, for one, with the actual quality of the title. I just don't want to have to go tell dude. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news and be like, hey, I can't do it, especially when this guy hits me up every day and a half and says, hey, so you're backing out. And I'm like, no, I don't have an update for you. So I haven't reached out. And I was telling him, like, I will, any update, good, bad, I will reach out. But I was like, I'm imagining that these properties will be, done within, the actual close of escrow time, which, would be the 5th of April.
Absolutely. Who texted who last? Did you text him last, or did he text you last?
I responded to what he texted me. So, I mean, technically, I texted him last, but
good. Text him again.
Text him again. Okay.
Text him again and say, hey, just want to give you a quick heads up. It's going to take anywhere from a week to a week and a half for my buyers to do their due diligence, run their numbers, and make sure that they can move forward on this deal. So I would say give me at least until Monday morning, and I'll have an update for you.
Okay. Okay. And you mean like to say that?
I want you to say that to him exactly.
Okay. I didn't know if you meant like say that to him exactly and then also reach out to you on Monday, or is it just tell that to him just so?
Tell that to him. I'll have some information for you by Monday. I'll probably have some information for you by Friday, but I like to give myself a couple of days just in case. Under promise, over deliver.
Right. Yeah, okay, I got you. So I'll send that all to him. Yeah, it was more so with him. I think he's just more frantic. He doesn't want the possibility of it to fall through so much to the point where these properties have to like get taken by the state or get taken by the county or to get auctioned off if it gets too far into his he really just wants to turn a profit on properties that he's going to not have anymore anyway. So I understand why he's texting. I just didn't know within my own reasoning, how do I keep responding to the same question continually if I don't have any other way of giving him like, hey, this is going to take this amount of time?
Yeah, that's what you do. You just set the proper expectation. And you're new. This is what, your second one?
My third deal. I've got one in Tuskegee, and then I got these as a duo. I've actually got another land deal that the contract came today to the guy, and he's going to sign it. So technically, I just got my fourth deal.
Okay, show off.
Oh, no, I've been, NAC it's been really good. I've been, I guess, researching it for like probably 4 months. I probably in October, right as my birthday turned, I was looking, I was like, okay, I'm going to find some way to get some passive income because I play basketball too. So I wanted to find some way to make passive income when I inevitably go overseas in the next couple months. So I found this, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna learn it for a few months, and then I learned it, and then I got all these under contract, and then it was like, dang, I guess I really didn't know as much as I thought I knew, because I knew everything leading up, but once you get a deal, it's like, okay, I didn't really research into that because I thought it would be super easy, because I was like, one, that's the hardest part, cold calling, and then at least to me, that was the hardest part, was acquiring it, and then I didn't realize the Dispo process also took some work too. So I was like, damn.
So let me ask you this. How many of the deals that you have are from NAC and how many are from Deal Sniper?
To be honest, I've watched the recordings of the lives and everything. I haven't touched Deal Sniper yet.
So all 4 of these have come from NAC?
Yeah.
That's what's up. Let's go. Score one for NAC.
Yeah,
I like knowing that I'm working with a company that's doing well for other people. So that actually makes me pretty happy. I'm glad to hear it. So then tell me about that. How long have you been a client of NAC?
I can tell you, I started, I believe it was a month and a half ago. I said a month and a half to you last time too, I believe, but I think my second payment came out maybe a week and a half ago. So probably 2.5 months now.
Okay. And so you got 2 under contract right now. No, I'm sorry, 3 under contract and then another one coming.
Yep. 3 under contract and one.
Let's go.
Yeah. Thank
So
you.
how are you liking it? Like, tell me, and be honest. I want to know the truth. How is it working out for you? I know you haven't gone to the disposition side yet. You're just now getting to that. But the initial side, the leads coming through, are they good? Are they coming through as actual leads, or are these people like, have you ever called someone and they're like, oh God, I don't even know why they push this as a lead? Because I know some cold calling companies do that.
Yeah, no, they're coming through as actual leads. I had the one that I told you about, the guy with all the back taxes, but I can't really put that on them. They're not looking that far in. They're just looking for a yes or a no, and then the motivation.
That's true. Yeah, they can't check. They can't check taxes.
Yeah, they can't check that. I wouldn't expect it would lower production so much. Yeah, the leads coming in are good. The only thing, which once again, this isn't on them. The only thing that I would say is majority of my leads, I've got like 9 new leads in right now. Majority of them are warm. They're all for the future, but I've heard that you can, and I've mentioned this to people too. I've heard and I've seen people do it where you tell them you can get something under contract and you can contractually date it, and you can say, hey, like they want their house done in 4 months, and say in the contingency, and changing the close of escrow, and you can put that for 4 months and get something under contract for basically in advance. So that was what I was going to try to do with those. But all of these leads, I just went for the ones that were, want to sell as soon as possible. So I'd say that's probably the biggest thing right now, is that majority of my leads are for the future. So I just have to work on trying to either get those people to want to close more quickly, or B, try something different, which would be modifying my contract a bit to make it where I can get something under contract and it'd be set for, months in advance.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. No, that's a good strategy. And you can absolutely reach out to someone and say, build your rapport. When do you want to sell? What are you looking to get? Oh, yeah, everything sounds good, what you're saying, but I don't want to sell for 4 months. Yeah, that's not a problem. So what we'll do is I'll put you under contract, because here's the thing. If the property value, and I'm not saying it's going to, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, but let's say the property value takes a dip in the next 4 months in your area, well, then my offer has to be lower. But what I can do, I can put you under contract right now. Literally nothing will happen until a month before you guys are ready to move. That's when we'll do our inspection. That's when we'll start paperwork. That's when we're open title and escrow.
Okay.
You can absolutely say that. And there's probably a solid handful, maybe 10 or 15 that I've locked up like that.
Okay, I'm definitely going to do that. I meant to mention, I do also have a guy that was selling 3 properties. I realized it a little bit ago. After these 3, I didn't realize how much of a handful 3 deals would be, like trying to juggle them at once. I thought it was going to be kind of like easy peasy, just getting them out the way.
It is. You just have to get your process dialed in. That's all.
Yeah. I was going to say, I feel like if I'm going to research about, especially in the area, whether it's PropStream or Facebook, I'm going to build my buyers list, especially since majority of my leads are coming from St. Louis right now. I'm going to get that set up, because I have another guy that has 3 properties he all wanted to sell, and it was about a month ago I reached out to him, and he said he would reach back out to me within the week. Then I locked all these deals up, so he should be wanting to sell, right about now. And he wanted to get rid of all 3 properties, and they were like, one was like 100,000 under, estimated value. The other one was like 80. The other one was like another, and they were all in great condition. They were all tenant occupied, and he personally like keeps up with repairs. So all I have to do is get photos of those, and I might have, in the next week or so, I might have another 3 deals locked up, because that guy was pretty optimistic about getting those ones gone.
That's what's up. Yeah, we have found out. I don't know if there's a direct correlation. I don't know a whole lot of other cold calling companies. I've used 2 or 3 before I found NAC, and I like them. But I have noticed that a lot of clients are pulling portfolio deals from NAC. I don't know what it is with NAC, but they're real good at doing that. One guy got a portfolio deal, it was 12. Another guy got one, there was 8 or 9. And then my boy Leo got one, 34 properties this guy's selling.
Damn.
Yeah. And these are all NAC clients. Now you can get portfolios from other places. And again, I don't know if NAC is the key to getting portfolios, but I sure know that a lot of portfolios are coming from NAC leads.
I was gonna say my first deal, the deal that I've got with the guy in Tuskegee, he actually has one property where I'm at in Akron, Ohio, and he that one was under probate. I think what they really do good is they really are adamant on the phone about, hey, do you have any other properties to sell? I don't know if a lot of other cold calling companies use that or they ask, but I think that's why a lot of those deals they ask. And a lot of these people, when they're on the phone, they say, hey, I don't have any properties I want to sell. And they're like, hey, do you have any other properties? And then that's when, I've got majority of those deals off of that. That's why this deal actually with the 2 properties as well. She asked him, was he willing to sell? I believe it was his main residence property. And he said, no, but I have 2 other properties after she asked, do you have any other properties that you'd like to sell? So technically all 3 of my deals have came from objections initially. And it turned into, hey, do you have another property you'd like to sell? And then they said, yeah.
That is fantastic. I am so glad to hear that. So let me ask you this. I mean, I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but I don't like assuming. If you had to recommend NAC as a cold calling service, would you?
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I told you before, it was the price point, but I mean, all it would take is one deal to land to do that. But that's also because I grew up poor. So I'm very careful with how I spend my money. But
believe me, I grew up from humble beginnings as well, if you know what I mean. So my mom and dad, so I've got 2 brothers and a sister. There's 4 of us. We always had dogs because everyone in the house loves dogs. And my father stretched out a $1,400 a month salary.
Yeah.
With 6 people in the house. And with me as big as I am, might as well call it 7.
Oh yeah.
So I know what it's like to grow up
I'm
poor.
from a family of 7 too. So I've got 3 brothers and I've got 1 sister. Then I've got 2 parent households. So yeah, it was almost the same exact way.
Yeah, I know what it's like going to the store, and even though I know I've got the money in my account, let me go ahead and check my account real quick before I go to checkout. I know what that's like. Yeah. I get it.
That's why, and that was a big thing also after with the title. It was a mix of, it was really majority for him, but it was me also being like, damn, I don't want these deals to potentially drop. I know if it's something with title, there's nothing out that's really outside of my control.
Yeah, there's
and
nothing.
The other one, it's a really bad tenant in there, and he's like not very responsive. So the due diligence to get the buyer in, the landlord doesn't want to make the trip down from Ohio where he's at and I'm at to Alabama, but he's about ready because I've got it under contract. That was actually another question I had. So with a termination of contract, which this isn't anything, not terminating the contract. I just told him since I had it under contract from a little while ago, can you just send a new contract and that would also act as a termination, like that would void the prior contract, or do you have to terminate the pre-existing contract to put a new one? Because I just basically want to extend out the contract because I haven't got those pictures from his tenant yet. And
I don't think you need to do either. You can literally just send him an amendment, and I can get you a blank copy of an amendment. That's no problem. Or you can have ChatGPT make one. And the amendment's basically going to say, hey, we're changing the inspection period on this property from this date to this date. And you just give yourself, start the clock over once you get the photos. So if it was a 14 business day inspection from the beginning, but you're just now getting the photos tomorrow, for example, then send him an amendment extending the inspection period to 14 days from the day you got the photos. That's all. I mean, you don't have to do a new contract. You don't have to cancel anything. You're just extending the inspection window.
Okay, and then for that, with like if I sent an amendment, the only problem with this guy, he's real old school. So I've met up with him a couple times and got the contract re-signed. I did an amendment actually in person to the closing title location, which is how I changed my closing title clause to a mutual agreed upon location rather than putting it at the because I kept amending it.
Right.
For an amendment, can I just send it to him and not get a signature, or do you recommend getting a signature?
No, you need to get a signature.
Okay.
It's not valid unless you get a signature.
Okay, and does that also function for like if I ever had to terminate a contract in the future? Because what if like you have someone that's initially wanted to sell and they became non-compliant? Would that be a matter?
On that situation, you can go one of two ways. You can do a memorandum on their property, which I've never done that. I'm not going to force someone to work with me. So you can do that, or you can just say, hey, I haven't really heard from you. Hope everything is going well. But since I can't get a hold of you, we can't move forward. At this point, I am terminating the contract. And you can send that in a text or an email. As long as you have it in writing that you terminated it, that's fine. And then you can send a unilateral cancellation form where only you sign it and then send it to them. Say, hey, I'm terminating this deal.
Okay. That makes sense.
That's the easiest way to do it.
That's what I was really trying to figure out is what's the easiest way. Granted, I don't want to do that, but this guy, he's been a lot better. I mean, on timing now that he was more so concerned with how fast they were trying to get done. But now that I know to tell him like, hey, we just got to crunch some numbers. My buyers, they need to do their due diligence period. I can tell him that and tell him, hey, be expecting a reply, by Monday. And that way I can kind of get him to kind of lay off a little bit. Granted, I know, like I said, why he is so adamant on it, but I was trying to figure out in case it was something like that, unilateral would probably be where I would go.
Yeah, that's your best bet.
Okay. I was going to say, I think that was all I had. I was trying to think of something more. It was honestly, before like elaborating on it, it was a quick couple of questions I had. It was supposed to be a quick 1v1. I didn't want to take up your time because I know you said that like Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays you're busy, but besides that, it slipped for me. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off too. What were you saying before?
No, I was literally about to say that's awesome, and keep rocking and rolling. Let me know if you need any more help.
Okay, I appreciate it. I was gonna say with Deal Sniper, like I said, I've caught bits and clips of the lives. It's always an issue because I do contract work, so I do water meters, I do valves. Like basically what I do is entry level plumbing for the time being. And I with that I've got a lot of good properties I've scouted out over here and everything. But I was gonna ask, what's with Deal Sniper? Is it just kind of another acquisition software, kind of like PropStream? Or when I've seen you guys talk about it, I've only caught the clips of when you're in the midst of a topic. Whereas when you were asking me where my deals from Deal Sniper, or was it from NAC? Is that another subscription based thing, kind of like NAC, or is it kind of lower price range, kind of like PropStream? That's what I'm asking. I don't know necessarily what I am asking, to be honest. But
no, that's okay. You're asking what benefit is Deal Sniper?
Yeah, I guess.
So with Deal Sniper, it's made for on-market deals. And most wholesalers don't go after on-market deals unless they know how to do creative financing, because the cash offer on the cash offer on a on-market deal is 60% of the listing price minus your rehab, minus your assignment fee, which ends up being super low. It's like 50% of what they have it listed for. Most people don't go for that. So Deal Sniper will scrub information in non-disclosure states. It'll also generate an over-asking offer. It'll do all the numbers for you. It'll do all the math for you, and all you have to do is send it to the realtor.
Okay, yeah, I was before I even got into any of this, I've actually sent a whole lot of offers. I'm very comfortable with creative finance. I was learning more about Sub2. Obviously, pays more being other people, but it was because of, I don't know if you know Richard Taylor. He's a big creative finance.
I know Rich. Yes. Or I know of Rich.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what I was doing for a while was before I had even got NAC or anything like that. I initially learned how to do creative finance through him, and he has a program called Buy Box Cartel that functions the same way, but that'll make using Deal Sniper so much easier for me then, because it sounds like it's the same premise as what I was currently doing before. And honestly, how I learned to do wholesaling coming in was creative finance. I just didn't have any luck with it because I was doing on market through Zillow. So I had to go and basically kind of find these on markets myself. And it just wasn't bad is the way I should word it. I just don't think I pushed as hard as I have with the off market deals.
Yeah, no, I mean that can happen. Plus, when you're paying for VA, leads to come in, you tend to make those your priority. You don't jump in all the way if you're not 100% sure what's going on. I completely get it. Yeah. I would definitely recommend in between time, watch the videos on the channel on Deal Sniper, or schedule some time with me and I'll just jump in and show you how to do it. And you should start using that in your in between time, because if you've got NAC leads coming in, obviously you're good at not locking up those. If you can get more leads coming in from another source, then you're not putting all your eggs in one basket. I mean, that's just fantastic. That's the way you want to go. Multiple sources of leads coming in.
Okay, and in Deal Sniper, when you said leads coming in, Deal Sniper, is that kind of like what I was like kind of saying? Is that like what I was doing before? Like, it's not. Are you going out and finding the property? Like kind of
no,
like
you don't. No. You just pick a market that you want to be in. Usually a decent sized market that you want to be in, and then you put in the address into Deal Sniper. It will generate an over asking price offer. It'll calculate the cash on cash return. It'll calculate the down payment, the monthly payment. It'll generate the letter for you. And all you have to do is put in the realtor's information and send it in an email. Most people get an offer out every 2 to 3 minutes.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. They're pushing 20, 30, 40 offers a day and just pulling in contracts left and right. You get told no a lot. I'm not going to lie to you. You get told no a lot.
Right.
For someone that knows the ins and outs of creative financing and knows the different strategies and exit strategies for how to maneuver these deals, I mean, this is almost unlimited amount of leads coming in. And you just offer on properties that have been on market for more than 90 days.
I was going to say, yeah, because I was doing that and I was going for like 150 days plus. And I know, I was going to say, I know how that necessarily works. Do you know off the top of your head what's the cost of that, or is it kind of?
I think it's like $30 a month.
Okay, that's not bad. I was expecting you to say like 250. Okay.
No, we wouldn't. No, we don't. Just like a lot of people always ask me, "Hey, Sean, how much is it to get on a one-on-one?" What? How much is it? It's free. You're already here. Just jump in. I'll help you. I help everybody.
Cool. I was gonna say I appreciate it. If that's the case, I'll probably do that tonight. I'm probably gonna respond to all 10 of my leads. I've been probably.
I'll shoot you a link in a few minutes if you want to join. I think with my link, you get like 50% off the first month. I'll shoot you a link.
Okay, cool. I appreciate it. Yeah, because I was gonna say once I go home and respond to all these leads, I'm gonna clean out my car right now because I've got valves and piping and everything in my back seat and I don't like it. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'll probably interact with all my pre-existing leads, and I'll do that tonight because I didn't expect it to be so cheap. Every time I hopped in, you were in the midst of talking like, does everyone understand seller finance? And I was like, yeah, and I would listen, and then it would be like, you talk about sub 2 or something. So I didn't know if it was kind of the same premise as what I had initially seen. I just didn't have, I guess, the the right. I don't even know what I'm trying to articulate. I think you get what I mean. I
get what
jumped
you're saying.
in at a point
you didn't realize what it was
to understand what was going on. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, no, I got you. I'll shoot you a link. Try it. A lot of people are pushing a lot of deals. That's why I was so caught off guard when you're like, all these are coming from NAC. I thought it was a mixture of NAC and Deal Sniper. I didn't realize you haven't even hit Deal Sniper yet.
No, yeah, I haven't touched it.
For someone that has a good understanding and can explain and articulate the benefits of seller financing to someone, Deal Sniper is a silver bullet. The hardest part that a lot of the new people have to deal sniper is that they're new to seller financing. Some of them are new to wholesaling as a whole, but most of them have zero experience in seller financing, creative financing. I have to explain all that to them. And then when they vaguely understand it, they stumble their way through their first couple of offers and deals until they get to the point where they're like you and like, oh, it clicks. Oh, that's what seller financing is. And then they're off to the races and they're locking deals up left and right. I've never seen new people lock up deals this fast before. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what to do once they have the deal because they don't know wholesaling, but they're locking them up quick. And as long as they follow the program, it'll always generate an equitable, sellable deal.
I mean, that's honestly all I would care about. I mean, with seller finance, it's honestly, for me, I feel like right now it would be harder to land a cash deal than if I got a seller finance because I understand.
Oh, 100%.
I understand how to work with the interest rate, and I understand going over asking price to create essentially an invisible interest rate, and then that lowers the interest fee and then the cash on cash return on all of it. So I feel like I've got a firm grasp of seller finance. It's just the biggest thing was dispoing it, but I mean, I feel like that would be the same thing with seller finance as it would be with cash. So I feel like everything that I'm struggling right now is more so on the general aspect of having no experience within it rather than actually not having the knowledge. Because like I said, I did like 3-4 months of just trying to get a better understanding of everything that I was looking at. And probably 2.5, 2 3/4 worth of those months were spent solely on focusing on seller finance and hitting realtors up and doing the same thing, except I was doing it by hand and then ChatGPT automating messages. So
yeah, this is a much better system. It's all integrated all in one. Wait till you see it.
Okay. Hey, I'm gonna do that tonight. I'm gonna let you know how it goes and see how many offers I can shoot out then.
That's what's up, man. And let me know if you need anything else.
Well, dude, man, I appreciate it. I had another completely unrelated question, but that was from like a couple days ago, so I'll probably shoot that over to your DM. But it was more so, I think it was relating to, you showed me your EMD clause, and it was to be submitted, I believe, post-inspection or something, and I just wanted to kind of, because you sent me one over, and I was in the middle of something, I didn't need to tell you, like, that was kind of, I think that was something, but yeah, I wanted to tweak my EMD clause a little bit because I had mine within the 72 hours before 48, then I moved it to 72. And now I want to find a way where if I can actually find my buyer, it won't kind of legally make the deal. I guess non-compliant would be the best word I could find currently.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I always think it's a better idea to have EMD due after because some people starting off in wholesaling, they don't have $500 or $100 to put down on an EMD. But to have it due after, 99% of the time, most people don't have an issue with that. And I'm talking about the sellers or the realtors. They don't care. So I always just have it due after.
Yeah, would you mind sending like your specific, because you showed me, I tried to write it down the one time you showed me. Would you mind sending that to me via DM so I could just literally copy and paste and throw that in my contract? Because the way your wording was, I took it down a little bit, but I didn't want to bother you and say, hey, could you go back like it was class and ask you to reshow me so I could write it down?
Yeah, you just want the EMD clause?
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say,
I
tweak my title clause. If I tweak my EMD, then basically time-wise, what I was trying to do is solely minimize my time constraint from revolving around the EMD and the ratification of getting it to title and getting it deposited. And then once I removed that took off some of the time that I had to worry about EMD. And if I get rid of that, the only thing I have to worry about is the due diligence period. And then that's not bad because that's 14 days. So, and 14 business days at that. So I'm not really time-wise.
Okay. Yeah, I'll send it over to you. No problem.
Okay. Hey, I appreciate it, man. I don't want to hold it up anymore. Yeah, I appreciate it. If I got any questions, I'll let you know. But I think that's all I got.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Have a good rest of your night. Let me know if you need help with anything else.
Will do, man. I really appreciate it, man. Have a blessed one.
You too.